reasonably quickly, but again, it's subtle, right? It's like it's a plant steroid. It's going to give you a mild yet potentially measurable, according to the limited studies we have, effect on human gene expression. It's one of those like shitty situations because first off, kudos to you. It's a fantastic outcome that you've gotten, but loose skin just seems to be slowly attenuated over time, or there's a surgical option, but there's not really any like magic fix. Thousands, an innumerable amount, right? But it depends on what do you struggle with. Why are you unable to either create a caloric deficit via activity or sustain one via diet, or both? What problem is plaguing you? I'm sharing these two back to back because I think it's kind of a variation on the same question, number one. Number two, it's a topic I've addressed often, and I need like an archive so I can pull that up. But okay, it could be something like a protein powder, right? It depends on what problem you're having. Here's what we know. Nothing produces a meaningful increase in caloric expenditure beyond acutely. Okay, your body will accommodate any sort of thing that does that, and it will sort of just become the new normal. It'll seek homeostasis and it'll balance out. So the best non-stim fat burner for you is whatever affords you the opportunity to either create a greater caloric deficit via moving around more, some sort of exercise, right? Maybe I give you some energy, even though you said non-stim, or adhere to a deficit via dietary means, or some combination of both. You can quibble about things like carnitine that maybe push the preferred fuel substrate towards fatty acids, but that stuff all sort of comes out in the laundry, in the wash, if it's not an appropriately set caloric deficit, right? And you can achieve that via exercise, diet, or both. And you have to adhere to the deficit over time. This is how we lose weight. Realize that people that ingest high-fat diets become very efficient fat burners. People that ingest low-fat diets become very efficient glucose oxidizers. It's a ceaseless, constant balancing act because the body just wants to survive. So it's going to upregulate genes and enzymes and expressions that have to do with one and downregulate the other, and it shifts and it's a moving target. If you eat all protein, you'll become a very efficient protein oxidizer. It just so happens that protein is a structural nutrient and a very inefficient energetic nutrient. So that's probably the least desirable version of the three things we just laid out. But we're way off topic. Figure out what problem is plaguing you, what's holding you back, solve that problem. Guys, understand that when I do this devil's advocate thing, okay, because the most common question I get, bar none, is what's a good blank or what's the best blank? I'm trying to teach you how to think because every company has to tell you theirs is the best, right? It would be ludicrous for a company to say, oh, we purposely made a mediocre fat burner. It's not that good. It's reasonable though. Check it out. You'll probably like it. There's probably better. There's probably worse. That is a useless marketing position. So they can't say that. But for you, this is a much more reasonable statement. For you and your unique, individual, idiosyncratic goals, problems, lifestyle, genes, all those things. You need to find the best fat burner or pre-workout for you and solves your particular problems. So, as I've often extemporized about, you don't want me to answer that question, what's the best whatever, because by definition, based on what I just said, you would be forcing me to make an untrue statement. The best, there is no known and agreed upon best. If there were, everyone would only carry that. You would only take that. There would be no reason to debate supplements at all. It would just be the known answer. Yep, that's the one. Take that. It works. Do you see how ludicrous that sounds if I lay it out that way? So if I have a takeaway here for you guys, what I would urge you to do before you buy your next supplement is not to take anyone at face value, because every company has to tell you they have the best widget. But that's probably not true. So you need to work harder to figure out what's the best one for you. And you have to articulate your problem and think about what holds you back and define your desired outcome. When I take a pre-workout, I want it to do this. And I can help you with that. And a lot of good people out there can too. But you just read everyone's marketing copy and listen to the influencers who are being paid to tell you that theirs is the best, right? So there's a conflict of interest right there. And a lot of them don't even behave that way behind closed doors, for the record. You're going to be misled. So pause and think and consider and evaluate. And like I say often now, use all the available data points and ask for help if you need it. But consider more than one person or person's opinions before you make a decision, and try to uniquely solve your problem. And it helps to define what that problem is. And you can't just copy and paste Johnny Instagram influencer with abs supplement stack. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of glamorized marketing out there, but those people look that way for very different reasons often. They don't have the same goals and motivations and desires and problems as you do. I mean, some of them get paid to work out, for fuck's sake. I would offer up to you as evidence the fact that many of them have bounced around from supplement company to supplement company. How is that authentic? There's no one company that has indisputably the best products across the board. What your stack should end up looking like will probably come from a variety of companies, because your problems are not best solved by one company as a blanket solution. I know, I got 20 guys that work for us and love supplements. If I told them, no matter what brand it was, if I told any of my 20 guys, you can only take this brand for the rest of your life, they would be mad. So that's how real people take supplements, not sponsored athletes.